A very good evening and a very warm welcome to Front Page on AIM Network, India's definitive media organization and voice on everything AI and technology. Tonight, we bring to you AI is fusing with data, quantum's leaving the lab, customer calls are turning intelligent, engines are being 3D printed mid-orbit. Clearly, the future no longer on the horizon, it's booting up now. And here are the headlines. In a landmark $100 million partnership, Databricks is embedding GPT-5 directly into its data intelligence platform, eliminating data egress and fusing governance with frontier intelligence. And to help us decode that, this means we will have somebody from enterprises worldwide. We have a very special guest joining us on Front Page. Please make sure you don't go anywhere. Launched in February 2025, NoBroker's ConvoZen.ai is transforming India's contact centers from passive call logs into real-time vernacular first intelligence engines, automating 90% of audits, improving agent efficiency by 30%, and setting the stage for an India-built agentic AI stack. Google's 105-qubit Willow chip has run the quantum echoes algorithm 13,000 times faster than the world's top supercomputers, marking the first repeatable and verifiable quantum computation, a breakthrough that brings quantum from lab theory to real-world scientific applications. And finally, Chennai-based Agnikul Cosmos has successfully fired 2 electric pump-fed, fully 3D printed semi-cryogenic engines in sync, a key milestone ahead of its Agnibaan SOrTeD launch, marking a breakthrough in software-defined propulsion and India's private spaceflight capability. Only a year ago, Databricks and OpenAI stood on opposite sides of the AI divide. OpenAI, the global leader in frontier models. Databricks, the data powerhouse that launched DBRX, its own open-weight LLM, in a clear bid to challenge the giants. And now, well, they are partners. A few weeks ago, the two companies announced a multi-year $100 million partnership, one of the most consequential database model alliances in AI history. GPT-5 and future OpenAI models are coming natively to Databricks' Data Intelligence Platform, directly embedded into the place where enterprise data lives, not through a connector, not through another SaaS layer, right at the core. This isn't just another cloud integration. This, my friend, is a paradigm shift. Databricks will bring OpenAI's full model suite, including GPT-5, directly into Agentbricks, letting companies build, test, and deploy AI agents on top of their own data without moving a single row outside governed boundaries. This gives more than 20,000 enterprise customers instant access to frontier models through structured query language SQL, application programming interface API, or user interface embedded inside Unity Catalog governance and observability layers. The result is this: data stays where it is, intelligence comes to it. Unlike most strategic collaborations, quote unquote, this deal comes with hard dollars attached. Databricks has committed to spend at least $100 million on OpenAI models over the contract period, creating guaranteed demand and ensuring deep platform integration. For OpenAI, this means predictable enterprise revenue. For Databricks, this means having the world's most advanced frontier models in its stack without giving up its model Switzerland position. For the past decade, AI has sat outside enterprise data. You had to actually extract, transform, and hand over your most sensitive information to third party APIs. This partnership reverses that equation. Models move to the data, not the other way around. Unity catalog governance ensures audit, lineage, and policy enforcement natively. Agent Bricks evaluates and orchestrates both GPT-5 and open weight models side by side. And CIOs get production grade deployments, not just pilots. It's not actually just a model deal. It's actually the creation of a data plane agent ecosystem. So when Databricks launched DBRX in March 2024, it actually signaled it could train high performance open models on its own infrastructure. At the time, it was actually seen as an open AI challenger. But Databricks played a smarter game. Instead of going all in on a closed versus open fight, it stacked the deck. DBRX remains its open weight option. GPT-5 becomes the frontier plugin, and Agent Bricks becomes the control layer that actually decides which models wins on eval. Competition became choice, and that's exactly what enterprises wanted. This partnership comes as Databricks crosses $100 billion plus valuation, $4 billion annual run rate, $1 billion in AI revenue, and global expansion. Well, with this impressive financial strength, it can guarantee open AI demand, secure capacity, and keep latency and compliance under its own roof. And this is actually how Monday mornings will change for enterprises. No more data duplication. AI agents run inside existing data governance boundaries. Frontier plus open models side by side, which is GPT-5 versus DBRX on real enterprise workloads. Real evaluation loops, built-in accuracy, cost, and compliance metrics before deployment. So one orchestration layer will actually mean multi-model resilience under Unity catalog. Clearly, this isn't future of work fluff. This is the operational stack for the agent era. And as promised, joining us today is Nick Ayers, Vice President of Field Engineering for Asia Pacific and Japan at Databricks. Nick has spent over 2 decades at the forefront of enterprise data and AI transformation. He currently leads the technical field team for APJ, helping some of the region's largest organizations unlock the full value of the Databricks Data Intelligence Platform. And before Databricks, Nick held very senior leadership roles at Hortonworks and SAS, driving customer success and scaling services globally. A multiple time President's Club winner at Databricks, he brings a very unique perspective at the intersection of platform strategy, enterprise adoption, and real world AI deployment. Today, we are very, very happy to have him joining us because he's going to help us decode the Databricks and OpenAI partnership, a $100 million deal that embeds GPT-5 directly into the Databricks data plane, signaling one of the most significant database meets model alliances in AI history. Welcome to Front Page, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having us. It's great to be here.
We are actually very thrilled to have you here and to help us break down what many are calling, well, a game changing moment for enterprise AI. Do you agree?
100%. I think this is a pretty pivotal moment for us, the industry, the ecosystem by and large, and I think it's a great demonstration to everyone out there around the power of having choice openness and interoperability when it comes to frontier model selection. And we truly believe that's a uniquely differentiating factor with Databricks.
You know, Nick, before we actually dive deep into what has just happened, I would love for you to actually just tell us, because how does one even perceive this? Because it's difficult to wrap one's head around this. Maybe shed some light before we get into the details of things.
Yeah. Well, I think the simplest way to think about it is in this world of AI, these frontier models are advancing at such a pace. And OpenAI has obviously been at the forefront, but there's many others, right? Anthropic, Claude, Gemini, and many more. And really, as these models, these frontier models continue to advance, they're unlocking game-changing use cases that can uniquely differentiate business models, products, and services. So customers, partners, the ecosystem that we work with, they really are seeking and looking for choice, but they want that choice and they want that openness and they want that interoperability to be done in a way such that it abstracts all the complexity away. So they can experiment with the latest and greatest frontier models, such as OpenAI, but they can also experiment with the latest and greatest open models, such as OSS GPT, Llama, DeepSeek, Qwen, and others. And we uniquely positioned in our ability to bring that all together. We give customers that choice. We give them the ability through one unified data intelligence platform to be able to select the best frontier commercial models, the best open models, and to figure out which one is best for their specific use case. Because there isn't really one model that's going to rule them all. You really need to experiment with these things and figure out what works best for you.
Which is actually something which is perfect for all of the consumers, Nick, the way you put it across. Yes, choice is, wonderful to have. And, you guys have just managed to give him all of that. So
Yep.
just a few months ago, Nick, Databricks actually launched DBRX, its own open weight model, a move many read as a signal to actually compete directly with OpenAI. Now, with this $100 million partnership, Databricks is actually putting GPT-5 right into the heart of the data intelligence platform. What changed? And of course, was this always part of a bigger model, neutral strategy, or did something actually fundamentally shift in how enterprises want to consume AI? Was this a long game?
Yeah. Look, DBRX was us showcasing the wonderful capability that we have in the platform and how easy and simple and effective it is to build, train and fine tune and deploy and serve these types of models on Databricks, and then to build really, really differentiated product services and applications on top. So for us, we always wanted to show to our customers, to our partners, and to the ecosystem that capability, and DBRX was a great way to showcase that and to give our customers choice again around an open model that they could potentially build on. But again, as I said, the frontier models have evolved so fast, and we didn't want them to have a single choice. We wanted them to have the best choices, the best offerings available through Databricks. So really for us, I think it's key to our overarching company mission and strategy around democratizing access to data and AI and giving our customers the best platform to do that with, on top of what has always been an open core that provides interoperability, openness, and integration with the best that's out there. And that includes the best frontier models. As I said, it's not just OpenAI for us, it's Claude, it's Gemini, and it's much, much more. So we want to allow all of those to be available through the platform so our customers can pick the right model for their use case.
Fair enough. I mean, that makes sense. The fact that it was not just about DBRX and probably the ego with that, the fact that no, it's going to be only ours. It was about the fact that finally the customer's call was supreme as far as Databricks was concerned. Fair enough.
Correct.
Fair call. As far as this partnership essentially moves, it actually moves the model to data instead of the other way around, Nick. So GPT-5 now runs natively inside Agentbricks with Unity Catalog governing everything, which is data, lineage, and policy. So
Yeah.
how does this architectural shift, Nick, change the way enterprises build, evaluate, and deploy AI? And of course, what does this mean for latency, compliance, and trust, most importantly, at scale?
Yep, great question. Well, again, just to state the obvious, obviously these state-of-the-art models, whilst incredibly powerful, typically out of the box, they don't have a lot of intelligence and they don't have a lot of insight around what makes your organization tick, right? They don't understand your products, your services, your policies, and they have no real way to interpret that other than generalizing the public corpus of information. They're very good at reasoning on things like math and coding and some other specific applications. But again, when it comes to enterprise-specific tasks, enterprise-specific domain knowledge and domain specifics, that's where it can be very, very difficult to get the quality, cost, and trust that you would expect out of the outputs of these models. So really what we're doing is we're taking that generalized sort of frontier capability, and now we're bringing that into the Databricks world. And then obviously with our data intelligence platform, we are that trusted platform to collate, collaborate, and share on top of all of your company data and potentially first, second, and third party data as well. And now we bring that frontier model to that data, but we do it in a way that's governed, secured, controlled, and has the requisite in place to ensure the entire life cycle from you leveraging your data, turning that into features, using that with the model and generating the insights, the inference, the actual decisions on the end, ensuring that entire life cycle has lineage, auditability, and traceability as well. So that's what's really unique. And then obviously bringing those two worlds together, this capability is now available to 20,000 plus customers across multiple clouds, AWS, Google, Microsoft Azure, and customers can now leverage this capability on top of their data, get access to their discrete insights around their products, their services, and policies, and start to build very uniquely differentiated products and services on top.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Which actually brings me to this point, Nick, which is the economics of it. This is $100 million minimum commitment, which is actually quite a big number. And also, I would say, a very bold signal for sure. So what most enterprises, actually cost and performance will be a deciding factor between frontier models like GPT-5 and open weight models like DBRX. That's quite clear. But how do you see this economic balance playing out? And where does GPT-5 win on capability? And where do open weight models offer smarter, more cost-efficient paths to production?
Yeah, great question. Well, from a demand perspective, I would classify it as limitless just now. I think there's potentially more demand than most can serve. So we see a huge amount of demand coming our way from our enterprise customers and partners, to be fair, around leveraging this capability to build apps, agents, multi-agentic systems on top of this capability. And this partnership, again, brings together the best frontier model with the best data intelligence platform on the planet, plus these world-class, enterprise-class governance controls and security capabilities as well. To your point around like which model excels best, open versus closed, GPT-5 versus the latest and greatest from the open models, this is really something that we would advise that you evaluate because it really, really does depend on the use case. GPT-5, you're very strong on reasoning and automation, multimodal precision, various other things. But the reality is you really want to evaluate the performance of the model on the specific use cases that you're tackling. And that's where, we bring really, really unique technology and capabilities to bear. With Agentbricks, we make that super easy. We take the guesswork out of evaluating, hey, what is the right way to do this? What is the right best practices, research best practices to put into place? How do you evaluate model performance over time? How do you use human-based feedback to do reinforcement learning and improve that model and optimize that model over time and that agent over time? And how do you ensure that you deploy that efficiently and effectively? So, using the Databricks Agentbricks capability, we give our customers the ability to very quickly, automatically assess and evaluate the agent performance, the model performance, and then to fine tune that through reinforced human learning and feedback, and then to auto optimize that for cost or quality. So that's really what we're working on with most of our customers and partners.
Well, you put it across very simply, Nick, but my God, you're doing so much in terms of not just giving the choice, but also giving the entire wherewithal to help all of the customers to kind of finally reach that end point, which is
Yep.
to hone whatever is it that they have in terms of the policies or the use cases, and reach that end point, which is fabulous, which is
Yep.
genuinely fabulous, which also, of course, uh, generally speaking, at the end of the day, a consumer would definitely end up thinking about the governance and the trust aspect,
Yeah.
Nick,
Yeah.
which is, of course, has been, of course, one of the biggest barriers to real AI adoption, which basically has been governance, which is lineage. We talk about auditability and
Mhm.
regulatory trust. Unity Catalog is central to how Databricks is addressing that gap.
Yep.
So, how does this partnership actually operationalize trust, Nick, for
Mhm.
regulated industries like finance, public
Mhm.
sector, and healthcare, all very sensitive verticals? And how
Yeah.
do you make boardrooms more comfortable with putting AI into mission critical systems?
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. For us, it starts with great data, right? Great decisions is foundationally built upon great data. And great data needs to have really good governance, controls, and security enforced on top. And to be clear, when I say data, I want to be specific here that, in other systems, in other platforms, really, when you talk about data governance, it's really, really isolated to just tabular data. When we're talking data governance and our ability to provide, catalog capability on top of data and AI assets, that's the uniqueness that we bring. We're really managing and governing the entire life cycle of data to features, to models, to dashboards, no matter what that data and AI artifact or asset is, if it's an actual tool chain as well, all of that is in Unity Catalog and governed and controlled and secured. So you can have trust that you have your data and your AI assets and everything that you've derived from that all governed, controlled, secured centrally. And then you get that the traceability such that, should the need arise, you've got the ability to go and look at how was that insight derived? How was that model deployed and served? And which features was it actually built on? And what was the lineage of the data behind it? So all of that comes together with our data and AI governance capabilities, which we call Unity Catalog. It's some really good examples of that because I've been talking a lot, but let me talk about specific customer examples because I think your viewers will want to know about that as well.
It would be very nice. Yes, for sure,
Yes,
Nick. Yeah.
yeah. So one of the best examples actually in India, I'm sure everyone knows HDFC Bank, one of the
Yes.
largest private sector banks in India. We work very closely with them to modernize their underwriting and risk assessment processes. And we migrated that from a very, very complex Hadoop system. You can imagine the complexity there around, the data silos, the scalability and cost implications. But we dramatically simplified that. We brought all of that data together. We unified that using the Unity Catalog capability, put in place the requisite access controls, lineage tracking, and ultimately boost productivity, time to value, and the product insights, the actual credit decisions and customer experience was improved dramatically as a result. So that's a great testament to financial services, which you referenced as a highly regulated industry. Maybe a health and life sciences example, because I know you mentioned that as well. AstraZeneca, one of the big players in the space. And as you know, health and life sciences, you're dealing with incredibly confidential, personal identifiables, information that is subject to high levels of regulations and controls. Here we were helping them pass, over 400,000 plus clinical trials documents, and actually using Agentbricks, which I referenced earlier, using a technique called information extraction retrieval to actually extract insights out of those clinical trial documents. And they were able to get that up and running in 60 minutes with the confidence that it was governed, secured, and controlled, and derive incredible insights and analytics on top of it using that information extraction retrieval pattern.
Wow. That is fascinating, Nick. That is genuinely fascinating. And of course, thank you for those examples and for the fact that you are now in India. Since
Yes.
we gave the India examples, metaphorically, of course, you're in India right now. And I would like to ask you, do you really enjoy being in India whenever you're here physically?
Definitely.
All right,
Love India,
nice.
and I believe there's a paneer on offer when I'm next in Bangalore, so I'm there.
Yes, loads of it. Trust me. We like to welcome our guests with a lot of heart, which is why the reason I obviously asked you all of this is because this very important and very critical for me to ask you this, which is India is at the center of a massive AI transformation.
Mhm.
From the India AI mission, Nick, and sovereign cloud initiatives to large scale enterprise modernizations across BFSI, manufacturing, healthcare, as you just mentioned, and public infrastructure. So, how do you actually see this Databricks OpenAI partnership, Nick, playing out in the Indian enterprise ecosystem where data residency, compliance, and affordability are very often as
Mm.
important as capability? Are there any early lighthouse use cases or sectors in India that you see moving first on this agentic AI wave?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think India, as many of the viewers will know, is an absolute mecca, I would say, for digital native. I would argue nowadays, AI native companies, companies that
Mm,
are born with AI being the core unique differentiator embedded into the products and services that they're taking to market. And there's many examples of these AI native digital native companies that we work with in India. I'll
mhm.
touch on one, Swiggy. I think everyone knows Swiggy.
Yeah, we've
Obviously,
heard of it.
yeah, if you're ordering food, we're talking about, your favorite paneer, ordering a paneer and getting that delivered across India. No mean feat, but they do it
I
incredibly
love
well.
how you segued into paneer with that. Well done, Nick.
But they deliver it with incredible accuracy and efficiency.
Sure.
And they do a fantastic job also around the customer experience side of it. So it's an organization that cares very deeply about the customer experience. And the use case in particular that we worked with them on
Mm,
is a multi-agent customer support system. And we just published a blog with Swiggy on this. So check this out on our Databricks.com website because it just went live today. But to give you a little bit
sure.
more detail, a
Hmm.
multi-agent architecture to really, really differentiate customer service. They've got thousands of customers on the platform concurrently, but they deal with that in sub-second latencies. 100% of the customer queries handled without
Sure.
human intervention, and the customer satisfaction has gone through the roof. Faster, more consistent, highly tailored, highly personalized sort of resolutions, and it saved them a ton of money as well. So they've moved customer service from being, a cost center to a unique value differentiator for the business, and all built on Databricks using a multi-agentic framework. It's a phenomenal use case.
That's wonderful, Nick. And it's very encouraging, obviously, for all of our viewers who are listening in, which actually takes me to this point, which is this definitely, Nick, feels way bigger than just a model integration.
Mhm.
Frontier models, open weights, evaluation frameworks, governance, agentic orchestration. I mean, they're all converging inside the data plane. So, are
Mhm.
we looking at the foundation of a new AI operating system for enterprises, Nick? And
Mhm.
how does Databricks see this shaping the competitive landscape, especially against hyperscalers and other data platforms over, let's say, the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'd say yes, yes, definitely. We're really trying to drive convergence through a unified data intelligence platform of
Mhm,
the best possible capabilities from end to end. Literally from landing the data, processing big data, doing that efficiently, doing that effectively, storing that in open data formats so that you control the data. It's your data. You
mhm,
store it in an open data format, you process it once, and you then have again choice and interoperability and a safe exit strategy. So we provide
mhm.
the capability to ingest, connect to sources, ingest data, transform data, and store it in an open way. We bring all of this wonderfully rich frontier model capability and AI capability but abstract the complexity of using it through these natural language-based interfaces, just talking to Agentbricks and getting Agentbricks to solve the domain-specific problem for you,
Sure.
whether it's that information extraction example that we spoke about with AstraZeneca, or whether it's a multi-agentic system such as we built with Swiggy. But we're moving to a world where, again, we give you all the choice, the best frontier models, the best open source, open weight models, but abstract the complexity of using them and allow you to just define the business problem, the domain problem in natural language, and Databricks figures it out for you. Add to that, as we said, none of that matters if you don't trust the data and the data is of good quality and it's governed and controlled and secured correctly. So we provide the governance layer, and we do that on multiple clouds. And again, we have multiple partnerships, not just with the frontier model providers. You may have seen our partnerships with SAP, with Palantir, with many others. So now we're bringing all these rich ERP, CRM, other data sources into the world of Databricks as well. So you can combine really, really rich data sets to create these new AI differentiated experiences and apps. So where does that take us from a future perspective? Well, if you believe in this central lakehouse strategy, where you bring data and AI together, and now you unlock it using open standards, open data formats, open capabilities, now you can power that next wave of innovation. And that next wave of innovation, we really believe, is going to be driven largely by the agentic sort of phase of expansion. And there we really see multi-agentic systems built on production quality data at production scale, with really good quality and great cost control and security being the unique differentiator. So Agentbricks is a big bet for us over the next 3 to 5 years. But more than that, these agents ultimately come together in multi-agentic systems, as I said. Again, multi-agent systems is a big bet over the next 3 to 5 years. And then how do we take these agents, this AI, this data, and then meet consumers, meet users, meet the data and AI personas where they are, and experiences that are uniquely tailored to them? What do I mean by that? Appifying everything. Moving to a world where the apps, the solutions that you build are AI natively powered and infused. So there we're betting big on our Databricks apps framework, our lake-based capability, which brings online transactional processing and really becomes the AI database of the future, powering AI apps, powering these AI app frameworks on top of these agentic systems, these models, and all of that data that you bring together on the lakehouse. Last but not least, I just call out that let's not forget, you want really, really democratized, simple interfaces then for the users that want to just visualize, explore, and derive insights from the data. So there, we're betting big on new visualization capability that's AI powered. We call it AI BI, but we also have a very unique sort of AI BI portal, which we call Databricks One. Very simple, natural language interface. Talk to your data, ask questions of your data. You don't have to know how to code. You don't even have to discover the data. It'll automatically discover it for you and make recommendations around what are the best data products and group them by domains to leverage, and as well as apps. So it's just a nice, simple interface to discover and use data and AI assets and apps. Yeah.
Wow, Nick. I mean, that's a plethora of aspects that you just took us through. No, but it's fascinating. I mean, you must be so excited, especially when you're looking at the landscape over the next 3 to 5 years. That there's just so much that you just mentioned, and the opportunities are huge.
Yeah, for us, the fun part is building this with customers. I get really excited when we sit down with customers like Swiggy and AstraZeneca and HDFC, and we build this together. So it just creates amazing co-build, co-development opportunities for us to reimagine core business processes, experiences, apps from the ground up, AI native. So it's just wonderful to do that with customers. Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, it's giving trust, it's giving choice, it's giving the entire wherewithal to the customers, and of course the excitement of building it all together, which of course brings me to this. Databricks has crossed $100 billion plus valuation. It's hit a $4 billion annual run rate and surpassed $1 billion in AI revenue, all while rapidly expanding globally. So well done, Nick, to everyone at Databricks. At that scale, every strategic move has ripple effects. I'm sure you'll agree with that across the entire enterprise AI ecosystem. So, how does this partnership with OpenAI fit into Databricks' long term growth strategy, Nick? Is this about deepening your enterprise moat, expanding your AI product footprint, or setting the stage to own the agentic AI runtime for the next decade?
Yeah, yeah. Just to quickly reiterate some of those financials, because that 4 billion run rate was actually in Q2.
Uh-huh.
Watch this space, and that's growing at over 50% year over year. So it is monstrous growth on a pretty big base. Uh,
Wow, that's
and
fabulous.
and just to call out how fast like that AI stuff is taking off, the AI
Mhm.
revenue crossed a billion in run rate as well. So what does that
Wow.
mean? Like customers are seizing the opportunity to work with us and our partners such as OpenAI,
Mhm.
and I think demonstrable to that is the size of our strategic customer base. We've got 650 plus now customers that are well over $1 million plus in annual revenue run rate. We've also been positive free cash flow for the last 12 months. So the business is incredibly healthy,
Nice.
allows us to innovate fast and invest where it matters. I think I mentioned earlier about 20,000 customers worldwide,
Yes.
with a large number of those actually being in the Fortune 500 just now. So I think
Mhm.
it's a testament, number one, to the customer's belief and trust in us and
Yeah.
our ability to execute. Number two, I think it's testament to, again, what I said earlier around like, hey, we really just want to work with our customers to build and co-create and co-develop value. So we put all of our effort, all of our energy, all of the success back into obsessing about
Mm.
how to create value for our customers. And I think that uniquely differentiates kind of our partnership and long-term growth strategy. And just to add, again, this is much more than just that OpenAI relationship and partnership, right? This money, this
Yeah.
success, this commitment from our customers is going into broader ecosystem relationships and
Sure.
partnerships with Microsoft, with Google, with Anthropic, SAP, Palantir. We really want to be at the forefront of leading and pioneering and creating a new category of data and AI players. So we're really trying to push the envelope and push and lead the establishment of a new global AI ecosystem. So at its heart, I
Nice.
think it's all about us staying customer obsessed. I think it's all about the long-term strategy of if we focus on that, we will build what our customers need, we'll build what matters for them. That allows us to innovate very fast, and we
Mhm.
want to be the category leader. We want to lead this space. We want to be the defining company when it comes to the global data and AI ecosystem.
So we were right when we said that, Nick, that you want to rule the next decade.
Yes.
Absolutely. I like that. All right. So before I let you go, Nick, of course, I definitely want to get your thoughts on this. Next month, which is the 12th of November, we're very specific at 9:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Ali Gotsi and Sam Altman will come together for a first of its kind virtual event to unpack what it really takes to build agents that work. Please, I would like to understand what can our viewers expect from that conversation, Nick? And also, Databricks recently made headlines for investing in Naveen Rao's new AI hardware startup, a
Yeah.
bold bet on brain scale efficiency and next gen compute. So, how does this move fit into Databricks' larger AI strategy?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
your thoughts, Nick.
Yes. Well, first of all, make sure you don't miss it, right? So catch the webcast. I think you're going to learn a lot more
Mhm.
around the strategic relationship, the investment, how we're putting that to work. And I have no doubt that we'll talk to specific early examples of the value that we're starting to co-create with customers. And let's not forget as well that OpenAI is a customer itself of Databricks.
Sure.
So I imagine Sam might drop that into the conversation as well. So make sure you don't miss it. I'm sure there'll be some really, really fascinating insights around OpenAI, not only as a partner, but as a customer of Databricks as well. And then, yes, Naveen Rao, an incredible thought leader in the space, came through our Mosaic AI acquisition and did a phenomenal job, leading and pioneering our AI R&D division. And it's great to see that, that partnership, that relationship continues with unconventional. I believe that's what he's calling it, unconventional, to build a new era of compute capability, brain sort of scale compute capability for this new AI era. I think it's just, again, testament to Databricks really wanting to drive, again, category leadership in that data and AI ecosystem. And part of that is us recognizing that there's great new emerging tech and companies, and we want to invest in them, and we want to build the ecosystem up, given the good fortune that we have. So we continue to invest in companies in the ecosystem as well.
Wonderful. Nick, finally, I would just like for you to maybe give a message to all of the people who are watching, all of the viewers, and the India AI ecosystem, and whoever you want to give a shout out to, Nick. This would be the time for you to do that. We'd be very grateful for a message from you.
Yeah, well, again, thank you for taking the time to view this, and please do connect with me and find me on your favorite social media channel. I would love to connect. My message would be, don't wait, get started now. Like, the space is moving super fast. If you're not thinking about, talking about, or leveraging AI as a unique, compelling differentiator for rethinking, reimagining the way that you serve customers, the way that you go to market, the way that you run your business, then you're late. Like, now is the time. Seize the moment, seize the day, get involved. And if you need help, don't feel bad about reaching out and asking for support. We love helping our customers co-create and co-build great data and AI solutions and innovations. So reach out, connect, but don't wait, get started now.
Wonderful, Nick. Thank you so much for that. That was truly inspirational, and all your insights and thoughts. And of course, the landscape in the future looks wonderful. So wishing you and your team all the best.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for being on Front Page. Well, this partnership, as Nick had just mentioned, effectively turns Databricks into a model-agnostic AI runtime. It already had the data layer, the governance layer, and the open weight option. Now, with OpenAI on board, it has the frontier horsepower to match. For OpenAI, its diversification beyond Azure and a deep enterprise moat. For Databricks, its strategic positioning against Snowflake and hyperscalers. For CIOs, it's the first credible path from POC to production without compromise. So finally, a year ago, Databricks and OpenAI competed for model mindshare. Today, they're actually fusing frontier intelligence with enterprise data gravity. GPT-5 is no longer a distant API. It's sitting inside the world's most powerful data lakehouse, ready to power real production agents. This isn't just about AI adoption. It's about who controls the stack, models or data. And for the first time, both sides have joined forces. We will definitely like to know what you think, so please let us know in the comments below. It was a wonderful, invigorating conversation with Nick. We're going to take a short little break, but when we are going to be back, we're going to be back with an even more or equally enthralling conversation with another brilliant mind, only on Front Page.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
And I have seen this place grow from strength to strength. Speakers, the sessions, and the vibe around that.
Love the vibe. Love to see how big it has gotten over the years.
The largest AI conference in India.
Cypher has definitely attained a cult status.
Artificial intelligence.
AI.
Coexisting.
AI.
We are AIM Media House.
Welcome back to Front Page. After years of building its own internal speech stack to handle India's real-world conversations, NoBroker officially launched ConvoZen.ai in February 2025. What started as a small in-house tool called Zen has now grown into one of India's most ambitious conversational AI platforms, designed not just to transcribe conversations, but to understand, learn, and act. Isn't just another add-on. It isn't another dashboard. It is ConvoZen.ai is actually a full-fledged vernacular-first conversational intelligence cloud built to reshape how businesses engage with their customers at scale. If traditional contact centers recorded conversations, ConvoZen wants to orchestrate them. This is actually a strategic signal of how India is building its own agentic AI infrastructure. In India, millions of customer conversations happen daily across sectors: banking, healthcare, real estate, retail, and more. But only a fraction are ever audited. That gap has consequences: hidden agent inefficiencies, missed upsale opportunities, compliance violations that surface too late, and perhaps the most damaging, the real voice of the customer getting lost in the noise. ConvoZen.ai was built to close this very gap, not just with speech recognition, but with end-to-end operational intelligence. This product wasn't born in Silicon Valley. It emerged from NoBroker's operational trenches, where thousands of multilingual calls flow through contact centers: Hindi, Tamil, Kannada, English, dialect switches, noisy audio, global solutions. Well, they all broke down. So Akhil Gupta and his team built their own stack: speech recognition models trained on India's real audio environment, NLP tuned for vernacular accuracy and code switching, QA pipelines that scaled without the need for manual audits. So, what began as an internal survival tool matured over 5 years into ConvoZen.ai, a commercial SaaS platform used well beyond NoBroker's own ecosystem. ConvoZen.ai leverages Azure, OpenAI, and Azure ML capabilities for core workloads, but its intelligence layer is distinctly Indian. The results are production grade, not pilot numbers: 90% automation of quality audits, 30% improvement in agent efficiency, 16-time increase in violation tracking. These outcomes are already visible in large-scale contact center operations, where latency and accuracy make or break real-world deployment. Most tools stop at transcription. ConvoZen doesn't. It also does this: real-time transcription across Hindi, English, Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, and more. Automated QA that drastically actually reduces manual audit time. AI-driven coaching while the conversation is still happening. Well, omni-channel coverage, voice, chat, WhatsApp in one intelligence layer, and crucially, agentic actions. So it doesn't just actually tell supervisors what happened, it triggers workflows. It actually goes ahead and escalates, routes, and resolves issues inside the contact center. The result, well, is a live operational brain, not a static analytics tool. Since its launch in early 2025, ConvoZen has gained rapid traction. It was named the #1 product of the day on Product Hunt. It recorded more than 190 trial requests in just 3 months. It has already expanded into BFSI, healthcare, education, travel, and e-commerce. We have actually seen that for years, India has been a consumer of imported contact center technology. ConvoZen marks a turning point from dependency to deep local AI infrastructure. Akhil Gupta, co-founder and CPTO at NoBroker, puts it very plainly. This is what he says: our journey with AI wasn't just about automation. It was about reimagining customer interaction. We built bespoke speech and NLP models that actually understand India. What global AI couldn't solve, we had to build ourselves. Now, those same models are powering businesses far beyond no broker. End quote. Well, that must be a proud moment for Akhil. For decades, India's contact centers relied on Western tools, trained on clean, studio quality English audio. But they actually crumble in the chaos of real India, which is in English, in accents, in noisy networks. ConvoZen flips that script. It's actually vernacular native. It's built to handle Bharat scale complexity. It's agentic by design, and it's enterprise ready with compliance guardrails baked in. This is actually India building technology for its own linguistic and operational reality. And joining us today on Front Page is Akhil Gupta, co-founder and Chief Product and Technology Officer at NoBroker.com, India's first prop tech unicorn and the world's largest technology-driven C2C real estate platform. Akhil is an IIT Bombay alumnus who started his career leading sales cloud development at Oracle, where he actually earned a patent for his innovations. Brilliantly done, Akhil. Before actually going on to build one of India's most iconic consumer tech companies. So, well, when NoBroker was founded in 2014, Akhil personally wrote the early version of the platform's code. So, over the last 11 years, he has helped save over 22,500 crores, wow, in brokerage fees, transform actually how millions of Indians rent and buy homes, and position NoBroker as a global case study in real estate technology and AI-led platform design. He's also the driving force behind ConvoZen.ai, NoBroker's in-house conversational AI product that automates 90% of quality audits, improves agent efficiency by 30%, and enhances violation tracking by 16 times, while supporting India's linguistic diversity through multilingual speech models. Today, Akhil joins us to break down how India can build vernacular first agentic AI platforms, why the voice of the customer is the next big AI frontier, and how startups like NoBroker are shaping the future of intelligent customer engagement. Now, before, of course, I get into a conversation with Akhil, I have to hear him perfectly well because, my God, the man has been a technological genius. Akhil, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Wonderful. Welcome to Front Page, Akhil.
Thanks, Amit. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
All right. So, Akhil, first and foremost, a big congratulations.
Thank
Can you
you.
hear me? Yeah. Okay,
Yes,
good.
I can. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice. I can sense the smile in your voice. So the founding inflection point, Akhil, No Broker was built on a bold idea, removing middlemen from India's real estate market. And I'm sure millions of customers thank you every day for that. But what actually stands out is how early you bet on AI, Akhil, not as a layer, but as the foundation of your product thinking. At what point did you realize that conversational intelligence could go beyond being a support tool and become a strategic growth lever for No Broker?
See, as you rightly mentioned, so when we started No Broker, I'll just take a minute to maybe just recap on what we are doing and how technology plays an extremely important role in the journey of No Broker.
Please
So
do.
when we
Wonderful.
when we when we thought of starting No Broker, so the idea came back from our early days in IIT. So when I entered IIT in 2000, that time internet was just booming and there were new kind of websites which were coming up, which were removing intermediaries. So during my journey at IIT from 2000 to 2005, I could see Book My Show coming up, I could see IRCTC coming up, and they solved a big pain. Like IRCTC was helping you book the train tickets without you going to the railway
Hmm.
station. Book My Show was able to give you movie tickets without you standing in the queue outside the theater. And in fact, you could choose the seats also what you want. So that left some impression in my mind when I was in IIT. And boom, to 2010, 11, when Saurabh pitched this idea to me, and he said, "Okay, why not we build a marketplace where we disintermediate the broker because the amount of money what they are charging is atrociously high for the value what they are adding." And and we said, "Okay, yeah, let's do that." And but what we'll do is that we will make this a technology first platform. We
Hmm.
will do everything which, if a very good broker exists who doesn't charge you much, who gives you right recommendations, who will always work for the benefit of you, if a person exists like that, how will that person can be replicated using technology? And
Hmm.
from day zero, we said, okay, and we will just have one office that will be in Bangalore, from where we will solve the problem using technology. And because we had this technology first approach, plus the name, which was No Broker, which
Yeah.
means that we could never work with No Broker. So there has been a lot of platforms who tried doing this, but eventually they ended up working with brokers, thinking that they need a way to get the supply easily. So we had to innovate. We had absolutely no choice but to innovate. We had to growth hack. So the first thing what we did was, how do we make life easier for our owners, correct? Because owners, I'm talking about 2014, 15, correct? Typical age of a owner in India is around 45 years, correct? The person who is renting their house, it will be second house. So second house will be 50 plus kind of a year. For a 50-year-old person in 2015 to open a website or download No Broker app, list the property, upload the photographs, it's no go. They'll say, "Yeah, boss, Mira, I have a broker. He is doing a job for me. I'll just give it to them. He has a shop across the
Hmm.
street." So we said, let's change it. So we reached out to the people, the medium which they liked the most. So WhatsApp was one thing which everybody was using. Facebook was one thing which everybody was using. We reached out to people there. We said, okay, I will call you and I will list the property for you. So we had a few people who were calling these guys once they had an interest in listing the property. And we were telling them, okay, we are dropping you a message on WhatsApp. You just reply to this message with the photographs of your property. And that is how the journey started. And when we started getting
Wow.
thousands and thousands of photographs on daily basis, it was humanly impossible to put a team who is looking into every single photograph, because when our dads and our uncles they send the photographs from the gallery, they select all kind of pictures, correct? It will have a good morning message also, or it will have a happy birthday message also.
Correct.
And you don't want those pictures to come out on No Broker. So at No Broker, if you have used, you would have never seen a picture on a property which is not relevant to the picture.
Hmm.
So that was the first time when we started building something which you call AI. At that
Mhm.
point of time, it was data science, machine learning models, what we were building. We said, okay, why can't we automate it? So we started reading the feed from the WhatsApp which we were getting, looking into the pictures. Then we started doing object identification on the images so that we could check whether this picture is really of a property. And at the same time, we started tagging the property. Okay, this is a dining room property, this is a drawing room property, kitchen property. We were also able to enhance the pictures a bit. If light was there in the front, we could choose the best picture which should go as a profile pic of that particular property. So that was the first thing, and that gave us the scale. And then we realized that with technology, you can do n amount of work with very few people, because that's the beauty of of the technology. So I think that was the first instance of or a hint of AI with which No Broker journey started. And with that success, we realized that everything and anything which is happening at No Broker, it can be automated, should be automated, and we should always leverage technology to do things faster. So why should a property which has been listed on No Broker platform take 12 hours or 14 hours to go live, which is what incumbents were doing, that you list your property, after 12 hours your property will be seen on the portal. We said it will go live in 2 minutes, and that started happening.
Nice, very aspirational and inspirational, Akhil. Uh, but of course, this brings me to this thought while you were giving us this beautiful journey that No Broker has had. How did those early technical choices shape the platform's ability to handle scale, complexity, and customer experience the way it does today? So basically, from internal tool to a SaaS platform.
See, so one thing, as I mentioned, that our DNA, we said it a technology first company. And there was a term which has always been there, that data is a new oil. And in 2012,
Yeah.
14, 15, it was the term which was going here everywhere, that data is the new oil, data is the new oil. And we said, okay, yeah, we will keep track of every single data. So
Hmm.
it started from the fingerprinting of the user who is using the device. At the device, they are using, how they are using, what is the click stream of the user, to what exactly people want, to all the conversations which were happening. So we
Hmm.
even have the conversation which started happening in 2015 in our call center. We have not lost any single conversation. And all
Hmm.
these conversations over the year, they worked as a founding stone for us to create our models, to create our SLM models, to train our models for conversation AI platform Conversion, what we have built.
So it was an internal tool, basically, Akhil. And the fact that it was born out of a very real operational challenge inside No Broker, managing thousands of multilingual conversations daily. So, what was that turning point when you realized that this technology could stand on its own as a SaaS product? What did you have to actually reimagine technically, operationally, and commercially to actually make the leap from an internal tool to something that actually powers enterprises across sectors, Akhil?
So I think from the architecture point of view, one of the few very good things what we have done at No Broker is that everything has been built uh, from scratch, to with an extent that it has to be productized. Productized
Hmm.
maybe internally, because at No Broker when we started, we were just a rental platform. Then we started doing buy sell. Then we started home services, packers and movers, cleaning, interiors. Then No Broker Road as a platform, which is a society management platform, came in.
Hmm.
And for all these technology platforms, or for all these services what we are building, if you see the base stack, it was always same. So we were always thinking that how will we build technology which can be leveraged to create new products, which can be leveraged to create new
Hmm.
businesses. And in that pursuit, uh, around 2016-17, when we started growing, we were out of PMF, we raised our Series B, and when we are growing big, we could see the speed at which the platform was growing. One thing which always bugged me was that we have a call center. Right now,
Hmm.
we are just in 2, 3 cities. As we grow, we go to 6, 8, 10 cities, and maybe if we go outside India, we will have to keep growing these people. And
Hmm.
what happens in the initial days when we just had 100, 200, 300 people in our call center, we could train them well. And these
Hmm.
people were like they believed in the vision. They were there with us from the start of the journey. So the SOPs were clear. We were building the SOPs as we were growing. They were learning. But there is a churn which always happens in a
Yeah.
contact center, which is a it's like a heuristic across the globe. And with that, what happens then? You create. You are always hiring. You are always training people. You are assuming that every single human is grasping what you are training
Yeah.
100%, and they are able to implement it 100%. So that is when we started looking into it, and we realized that if we have to maintain the SOP of NoBroker, we have to give the top-notch service of a very best agent if it exists. We will have to ensure that all these people are working with the same SOP. And that's when we looked around. We said, okay, why not? Because that time it was primarily calls. Why not transcribe these calls? Because when we are doing auditing, to listen to a call which is 5 minutes long, you can just do 1.25x, 1.25x speed or 1.5x speed. Still, you need 3.5 minutes to listen to that particular call. And when we are doing thousands of calls on daily basis, it was not possible to audit everything. So typically, we ran into that challenge where that you do 2-5% percent of the call audit, try to understand what your customer needs, and it is not a product which existed in the market, correct? Even we were learning, our customers were learning,
Yeah.
our customers were looking for okay, ये ऐसे नहीं होता, this is not how it should be done, you should be doing it in this particular way. So there was immense amount of learning which was there in these conversations. So we said, why not transcribe it? And when we looked around to transcribe the telephony conversation, which typically had a lot of noise, we looked into incumbents like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all those guys. First, transcription was not proper. Second, the cost of transcription was very high. It was like coming up to 1.5, 2 rupees per minute at that point of
Wow.
time, and that was not even the cost of the telephony what we had. So that's when we said it will not work out, and we'll have to build something of our own. And that is when we started building on our own models. So around 2016 and 17, we started building it after some 18-20 months of hard work. We were able to crack the multilingual transcription of conversation, which was working in English, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Kannada, and that time it was not called models. That time it was not called AI. It was a simple model which we had built, which was giving us this output. And when we started reading those conversations, we could increase our audits by 4-5 times. We could find where exactly agent is going wrong. How should these problems should be tackled? We were able to give better feedback to our agents, and that is when we realized, okay, we could improve the quality of our service drastically by just monitoring. And that is when we brought in, why not do the audit of all the calls, what is happening? And if we can do the audit of call in near real time, and if I can tell the feedback to my agent who is talking, or to his or her manager, that these are the things where Akhil is extremely good, these are the things where Akhil needs coaching, and if that coaching can automatically come from AI, so we built a platform for that. We built an AI platform where the audit was happening of 100% of the calls. We were able to score the calls, we were able to score the agents, we were able to help agents tell, okay, these are the things where you lack, these are the things where you need to improve, and here is the AI coaching module. Just go listen to these calls, and AI will automatically track how exactly you improved. When we did that, it was like a magic. And we could then we started doing real time streaming of the conversations which were happening in between our customers, and we could assist our agent. Okay, you are selling a plan, you are talking about a plan, you have not spoken about the refund policies of the plan, you have not spoken about what exactly has been covered in this particular plan. So instead of calling back the customer and telling that these are the things which I missed telling you in the during the sale process, it pops up in the front of the customer, in the front of the agent, that these are the things which you need to cover. So that improved the quality of the conversation, and it reduced the number of conversations which was needed with the customer.
So basically, again, Akhil, fabulous in terms of the fact that to essentially work on the efficiency, to work on the fact that you wanted to scale, to look at costs. So everything just came together. And because of that, the wonderful platform was born. So which brings me to this, the vernacular advantage that you had mentioned. Global AI models are actually still learning how to handle English, dialect variations, and, well, to be honest, very messy, noisy audio. Things that are very normal in India.
Yeah.
ConvoZen has actually been trained on these exact complexities that you just very recently mentioned. How do you see India's linguistic diversity, Akhil, becoming actually a strategic moat in building world-class conversational AI? And what kind of a data and model strategy does it take to build something truly vernacular instead of adapting global models for India use cases? I mean, you've been doing it for so long, so rich experience, Akhil. Would love for you to shed light on that.
See, if you see the number of languages what we speak in India, forget about we have like tens of hundreds of languages. Even if you talk about on daily basis what majority speak, we have 15, 20 languages, at least 15 languages which are spoken,
Yeah.
or 12 languages. And
Yeah.
every language has a different dialect. The way English is spoken by me, the English is spoken by you, uh, the same word is spoken in so many different ways that it has been extremely tough for Western companies to create the transcription models or the conversations models around that particular thing. So that's where the data plays an extremely important role. Why we have been able to build what we have built at Convozen is because of the data access what we had with the tens of years of data what we were able to collect across India in Hindi, English, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Malayalam at NoBroker. So data plays an extremely important role, and what we were able to crack on top of it has enabled us to create a platform so amazing that I'll just pick a use case example.
Always
Right now,
helps, Akhil. Always
yeah, what
helps.
what happens? So when a tenant and a owner or buyer or seller, when they are speaking, they connect on NoBroker. They are typically patched on a phone number, which we get to hear. And the whole idea is because we want to prevent the frauds. We don't want people to
Sure.
have the wrong experience. And when we did AI on top of it, we realized that there's so much of valuable conversation which is happening. Akhil speaking to an owner, and owner said, "Yeah, Akhil, today morning only I have given that particular flat on rent because there was somebody else from NoBroker who reached out. I'm yet to remove this listing from NoBroker. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow." And by that time, maybe there are four more Akhils who are looking for that particular property. So now what happens? This conversation can happen in English, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, any language. And the way Conversant platform has been built, where it's language agnostic, you just create, or you just say that if you find owner says that this property has been rented out, just trigger a message to me, which is via webhook. It goes to the NoBroker CRM platform, and the property is removed from the platform, and it is informed to everybody else who showed interest in that particular property that this property is no longer available. So it improves the customer experience by multiple notches. Just imagine, correct?
Clearly.
You wanted to take a look into that particular property, which is not available now. Instead
Sure.
of you going, talking to the customer, owner, and owner saying it's not available, no broker itself tells you, okay, this property is no longer available, but here are three more properties which you may be interested in. And please ensure that you connect with the owner quickly because these may also rent fast. So those are the experience which we are able to build now, which are language agnostic.
Wonderful. So essentially, data is at the heart of it all, Akhil, as you had just put it across. We've actually reached a point, Akhil, where contact centers are no longer just places where tickets get well resolved. They're actually becoming real time decision engines powered by agentic AI that listens, interprets, and acts, as you just mentioned. How do you define an agentic contact center in practical terms? And what are the most meaningful shifts you yourself have seen when conversations don't just get analyzed but actually drive automated actions like, well, let's say routing, compliance, or next best responses in real time?
So, yeah, so I gave you example about
Yeah,
how the audit platform at NoBroker
correct.
Conversion works, but now what we are doing at Conversion is that we have the complete agents which can be built. And when I say agents, these are, I don't like agentic AI, but I'll say these are humanoids who are like human, who can work 24 by 7, who have no emotion. Like, I had a fight with my wife, so I am not going to serve to this particular customer. I don't like the voice of this customer. So they are away from all kind of biases, which can be because of color, race,
Sure.
voice, whatever it is. And they work diligently to the SOP at which they are trained. So now let me just take an example for agentic bots, what are the humanoids, what we are deploying at NoBroker. So now you can at NoBroker and our other customers also, there is a humanoid which can talk to you as we are talking. It will talk to you in the language of your choice. As you switch the language, it will switch the language also. So I
Sure.
no longer need human who knows multiple languages. I can talk to you in English. मैं हिंदी में भी switch कर सकता हूँ, and I can switch in Marathi and whatever language you like. And if you say, okay, send this picture or send this property to me in WhatsApp, near real time, at the same time, I will start a span of a conversation on WhatsApp where I'm sending you the properties. You are liking the properties. You are saying, I like this, I don't like it. So the conversation can switch on a WhatsApp for a while. It can come back onto the conversation. It can go back on email. So it works on all the mediums. And it works at a time when the customer wants to have. So you and me are busy. I don't want you. I don't want NoBroker to call or any other business to call me at 2 p.m. because that's the most prominent time where people pick up the call because they are eating the food. I want them to call me at 10:30 because that is when I'm free. I'm okay to take a call at that particular time. So that agent or that humanoid will call you at 10:30 p.m. in the night, and he will do the work for you. So recently I got to see a conversation at NoBroker where agent was setting up a visit for property visit for a customer where customer was looking for a property on rental. It is a 16 and a half minute long conversation. It is happening in Hindi and English. That our agent or our humanoid, it's a girl who is speaking in Hindi dialect, which is used in North, typically
Nice.
because that conversation is happening in Gurgaon, Sector 40 kind of a area. She is speaking English the way people speak in North, the dialect which is there. 16 and a half minute. Total 9 property visits have been scheduled. It would have taken so much of time for that particular person to do it. And it's like fabulous. I checked with a lot of people in industry at Google and Microsoft also that what do you think? What can be the longest conversation with the AI bot? And typically, if we don't talk about the business conversation, all kind of random conversations and the companion bots which are there, they can talk for hours. People because they are interested. I spoke about business conversation, and people said they've just about heard about 2-3 minutes of conversation. We have multiple instances where these conversations are happening for 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 16 minutes, where work is being done by these humanoids.
What is the longest random conversation? Just it piqued my interest. That you've
I have got 16 and a half minutes. So as
business
we
conversation.
speak, business conversation. So as we speak, we have around 30 plus customers who are live on Conversation platform. We do close to 1 million calls daily basis. Almost 22% of NoBroker calls are completely on humanoids AI agents now.
Awesome. Awesome, Akhil. That is quite remarkable, what the stats that you've said, the numbers that you've shared, and of course the comparison that you've spoken with Google, you've spoken with Meta, you've spoken with all these people, and well, you're going ahead and breaking the glass ceiling. India actually runs, Akhil, some of the largest contact center operations in the world across industries and languages. You've built Conversen on top of Indic first language models and Azure OpenAI's infrastructure. Do you believe India can create a sovereign conversational AI stack that's competitive globally? Well, clearly, with that stat, I do believe yes. And what kind of an ecosystem, and this is where it's important for you to maybe weigh in on this, in terms of policy, startups, talent, and infrastructure, Akhil, that we need to come together to make that a reality.
See, if you see the innovation, see, there are two parts to AI, which I fundamentally believe. There is, so if you, I'll take an analogy from cloud, correct? If you go back 15, 20 years, everything, every application, I've worked in Oracle for almost 7, 8 years, correct?
Yeah.
We just used to talk about servers. Oracle acquired a company called Sun Microsystem because they wanted to sell servers along with applications, correct? And then there was a transition to cloud. GCP came in, AWS came in, Azure came in. And what cloud has become a building block. Right? Cloud has enabled faster application development, quicker business problem solution using innovation, which is happening. I believe these large AI companies like OpenAI, what OpenAI is doing, what Gemini is doing, what Azure is doing, for that matter, whoever, Perplexity, they are creating a foundation model. They are creating the base. They are not solving the problem, right? You'll have to build a AI application layer on top of it. You'll have to optimize that application layer. You'll have to bring in efficiency. You'll have to bring in time efficiency, cost efficiency, latency efficiency on that particular thing so that businesses can get value out of it. See, one is building POC. One is like you take OpenAI, or you'll see a lot of such POCs on LinkedIn that hi, I'm talking this, that, and all those things. Building a POC and taking something to productions are totally different ballgame, right? I can build a small POC where my bot is working, but if you take it to production and if it is not working for your customer and customer is losing the business because your bot is not working, they'll simply kick you out. Like nobody will put their business on something which looks fancy but doesn't work. So it should work. It should be cost efficient. I should be getting value out of it. Then only AI will work. And that is what we Indians are extremely good at. That is what platforms like Conversion is doing. We will definitely lead, and we are leading the innovation, at least on the AI application side, and building the layer on the foundation model so that we can build real, genuine use cases which are solving the problems. And contact center transformation is one of the biggest industry. Contact center is one of the biggest industry which was waiting for the transformation. So we are working with a lot of contact centers in India and outside India also. We have a very big client in Dubai also, and these guys are seeing the transformation. So if you talk about the BPOs, which were just doing the body shopping and the outsourcing, they are seeing the impact. They want to embrace AI so that they can improve the efficiency for the customers, because right now everybody wants to bring AI. Even if they don't understand, they want to bring in AI in their business because it's a hot buzzword. And we have seen efficiencies. We have seen how using, but so Conversion is one conversation AI platform. There are so many use cases on marketing and many other places where you can cut short the time of doing your work drastically. You can improve the efficiency and you can improve the quality of the work that you're doing. So yeah, India will lead it for sure, and we are doing it. So you see in last 6, 9 months at what rapid pace things have changed. January this year or February this year, we thought that let's start working on voice AI, and we have like 30 customers who are using it, doing close to 1 million calls on daily basis, which are running on the bots now.
Oh, well done on that, Akhil. Of course, brings me to something, a little different from the conversation till now, what we've had, which is, of course, the IPO and the long-term strategic direction, Akhil, which I want to ask you. NoBroker is one of the few scaled consumer tech platforms in India with a very strong business model, deep technology backbone, as we already know, and enterprise SaaS layer. So the point is, there's growing buzz around an eventual IPO. How are you thinking about that trajectory, not just as a financial event, but as a way to shape the company's next chapter? Point is, what would need to be in place, Akhil, in product, governance, and ecosystem positioning for that move to materialize?
I think from the governance point of view, we have a very, very strong governance internally built in long back. It's not like we would have done it 2, 3 years back. So we have a CFO for the longest time. When the companies don't even hire a CFO, we had a CFO from that particular time. IPO is an eventuality. It has to happen. It has to happen at the right time so that, and it's our responsibility because we have taken money from global investors. We need to give them exit. So IPO is one of the way by which these exits happen. We are just waiting for the right time. We are marching ahead towards our IPO plans very strongly, and it should happen sometime in next couple of years for sure.
Wonderful. Anything that would be that perfect point, Akhil, for you, like you're saying that you're waiting for the right time? Anything that would say, all right, this clicks, now we go for it?
No. So I think in terms of the business model, everything has clicked. We have multiple revenue lines. We are just waiting for more operational profitability in terms of at the overall business level. So after that, because markets don't like loss-making companies, something which we have realized. So we are we'll go strong in the market so that whenever we ring the bell, people love it.
Oh, yes, you'll be for sure bang the door down. I believe that. The future roadmap, Akhil, you've built Converzen on top of Indic first language models and scaled it beyond NoBroker. Congratulations. As conversational AI moves closer to becoming a mission critical infrastructure layer, as we were just talking about, what does your, let's say, 3 to 5 year roadmap look like, Akhil? Do you see Converzen evolving into a global SaaS platform, a sovereign conversational AI layer for India, or something even bigger? And what capabilities will define that next leap?
See, when we started NoBroker, we didn't know that it will be so big. We knew that it can be big, but what we thought, okay, let's take a problem at once, keep solving it. Start with rent, sale, then services, then no brokerhood, and during that journey, we realized that Conversion is something which has an immense potential. AI is leading the growth, is leading the change across the globe. Conversation AI is something with which people can really see the benefit. They can see the ROIs. Contact center transformation, as you rightly said, is due, which will happen now. Conversion is really doing that particular part. So I don't see a reason why Conversion cannot be a global big platform, a very big SaaS company in the future. So, but yeah, we are working towards it. Time will tell where exactly we are after 3 or 5 years.
That's nice. That's definitely nice to hear. It's encouraging the fact that the positive energy which has driven NoBroker till this point, as history states it very clearly through our conversation, Akhil, it only looks bigger and better. And we are wishing you all of the luck. And of course, I have to say this to you before I let you go. I wish you and your team all the best. And the fact that this convo was definitely Zen.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Lovely talking to you and really appreciate. I think I love when the person on the other side has very deep knowledge of the subject what we're talking about. So
That's
typically,
very
very
kind of
rarely
you.
I get to do interviews which are deep, technical, and fascinating. So thanks for having me. Lovely
We
having being here.
we really appreciate it, and I have to say this, Akhil. We work as a team at Front Page, and our research is brilliant.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
All
Okay.
right, wishing you all the best.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys. Bye.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we just had that conversation, and a very enthralling one with Akhil, which was, of course, punctuated with a lot of positivity, a lot of learnings, and, of course, a future which looks very, very bright. Conversen.ai represents India's entry into the global agentic AI stack, built for Bharat, but ready for the world. And if it can actually sustain what it has shown so far, 90% automation, vernacular intelligence at scale, and real time orchestration, India's contact centers won't just be cheaper, they'll be smaller, faster, and sovereign. So please do let us know what you think in the comments below. For right now, We'll take a short little break. When we're back, we will be back with lots more excitement on Front Page as always. Until then, think AI, think AIM.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
Welcome back to Front Page. Well, after years of promises, theoretical papers, and lab demos, Google has just crossed one of the most important milestones in computing history. The company has officially achieved the first ever verifiable quantum advantage, running its quantum echoes algorithm 13,000 times faster than the world's most powerful classical supercomputers. Let that sink in. Well, this isn't just another quantum supremacy claim. It's a repeatable, benchmarked result that can be verified independently by another quantum computer, a line the field has never crossed before. The breakthrough actually happened on Google's Willow chip, a 105 qubit superconducting processor engineered for ultra-low error rates and high-speed operations. Here's how actually the algorithm works. A precisely crafted signal is actually sent into the quantum system. One qubit is perturbed, the signal is reversed, and then an amplified echo is measured. The four-step process, which is forward operation, perturbation, backward operation, and measurement, reveals how information spreads across the chip with a level of sensitivity unreachable by classical machines. This echo isn't just a signal. It's proof that quantum systems can now be measured and repeated with precision and not just speed. The Willow chip's engineering is as critical as the algorithm itself. Across its 105 qubits, Willow achieves 99.97% single qubit fidelity, 99.88% entangling gate fidelity, and 99.5% readout accuracy, all at nanosecond speeds. This isn't just a prototype sitting in a physics lab. It's a precision computing platform designed to support algorithms that are both complex and verifiable, a key step toward fault-tolerant quantum computing. Google says this milestone aligns with its roadmap to milestone 3, the creation of a long-lived logical qubit, a prerequisite for practical, error-corrected quantum systems. This is where the story actually gets even more significant. To validate the results, Google ran quantum echoes in partnership with UC Berkeley, modeling two molecules, one with 15 atoms, another with 28. The quantum outputs matched nuclear magnetic resonance, NMR data, which is actually the gold standard for molecular structure analysis. But more importantly, they actually revealed additional structural information that NMR alone couldn't detect. This is why Google is calling quantum echoes a quantum scope, a scientific instrument that actually, like the telescope and the microscope, allows us to observe what was previously invisible. Drug discovery, material science, chemistry. This isn't just a distant future use case. It's the beginning of quantum computing as a tool, not just a headline. Our Willow chip has achieved the first ever verifiable quantum advantage. Willow ran the algorithm. Quantum echoes 13,000 times faster than the best classical algorithm on one of the world's fastest supercomputers. This breakthrough is a significant step toward the first real-world application of quantum computing, and we're excited to see where it leads. End quote. This was said by Sundar Pichai. This isn't just a scientific milestone, it's actually a strategic one. Quantum verifiability changes the equation from, well, we think it's faster to we know it's right. And that's the foundation needed to commercialize quantum computing. Just months ago, China's Zuko Zing 3, excuse the pronunciation, I have tried, practiced, I hope I got it right. The chip stunned the world with record-breaking speeds, performing a task that would actually have taken classical machines 6.4 billion years. But China's results, while spectacular, lack one thing: verifiability. Google has now delivered that missing piece. And in a race that isn't just about raw power, but trust, reproducibility, and usability, this may be the most important move yet. We have covered this very extensively on Front Page. Please make sure to check it out if you haven't already. Coming back to Google. Well, Google's 2019 quantum supremacy claim was about speed. 2025 is about certainty. Quantum echoes marks the first time a quantum computer has actually produced a result faster than any classical supercomputer and, most importantly, proved it. The gap between theoretical quantum and real-world quantum has just narrowed dramatically. The telescope showed us the stars. The microscope showed us cells. The quantum scope may show us the inner structure of reality itself. And this time, you know what? It can prove it. Please do let us know what you think in the comments below. And finally, in a major milestone for India's growing private space sector, Agnikul Cosmos has successfully conducted a simultaneous test firing of two fully 3D printed electric pump-fed semi-cryogenic rocket engines powered and controlled entirely by its in-house software stack. The company made the announcement on X, calling the test a demonstration of the precision and control enabled by its electric pump architecture, a fundamental shift away from conventional turbopump or gas generator systems that dominate most launch vehicles today. Unlike traditional rocket engines that rely on mechanically driven turbopumps, Agnikul's design uses electric motors to power the pumps. This allows engineers to fine-tune thrust balance in real time through, well, software, not hardware. The result is this: smoother burn profiles, better synchronization between engines, and greater reliability in multi-engine configurations. For small satellite launches, where precision, cost, and turnaround speed are everything, this can be a decisive bridge. The engines actually tested were built using Agnikul's Agnilet technology, a fully 3D printed design manufactured as a single piece with no assembled joints. This design cuts down potential leak points, simplifies manufacturing, and dramatically reduces production turnaround time. It's actually the same technology that will power Agnibaan SOrTeD, India's first rocket to fly with a completely 3D printed engine. Agnikul operates out of India's first private launch pad and mission control center at Sriharikota, built in close coordination with ISRO and in space. This dual engine firing isn't an isolated lab experiment. Please, it's actually a critical pre-flight milestone as the Chennai-based company gears up for Agnibaan SOrTeD's maiden launch a suborbital demonstrator mission designed to validate its propulsion and avionics systems in flight. Well, the success of this test also signals the maturity of India's private launch ecosystem, a space once dominated solely by ISRO. Earlier this year, on Front Page, we reported how Agnikul unveiled its reusable launch vehicle blueprint, positioning itself as India's closest answer to SpaceX's Falcon 9. Unlike carbon copy engineering, this plan is anchored in original patents spanning propulsion, reusability, and satellite integration systems across India, the United States, and Europe. From additive manufacturing hubs in Chennai to autopilot ascent tests, the company actually has been steadily building an integrated stack aimed at affordable, reusable, on-demand access to, well, space. This latest engine firing brings that ambition closer to orbit. Reusability is what turned SpaceX's Falcon 9 into a commercial juggernaut. Agnikul is betting it can replicate that model in India, not through sheer scale, but through cost-efficient engineering, patent-backed propulsion, and rapid engine production cycles made possible by 3D printing. If this is successful, India could actually offer global small satellite operators, faster, cheaper, and sustainable launch options, reshaping global launch economics in the process. So finally, with this successful dual engine test, Agnikul Cosmos isn't just proving a piece of hardware, it's actually validating its entire design philosophy: electric pump-fed architecture, single-piece 3D printing, software-defined control, and wow, an India-first manufacturing ecosystem. The road to the orbit is still challenging, of course, but today's milestone, well, puts Agnikul shoulder to shoulder with the world's leading private launch startups, and perhaps a step closer to India's own Falcon 9 moment. Well, with that, it's time to say goodnight on Front Page. I hope you enjoyed today's Front Page. If you did, well, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share to AIM Network, India's definitive media organization and voice on everything AI and technology. Front Page, as you know, is powered by MachineCon 2025, an invite-only residential summit for GCC heads, exclusively brought to you by, well, yes, you guessed it, AIM Network. Till we meet again, always remember, think AI, think AIM.